History isn't always this slow, steady march, right? Sometimes it just happens all at once. And for the world of AI, one single week in December 2025 was like a lightning strike. Bam! The future just arrived, way faster and crazier than anyone was ready for. So let's break down exactly what happened during that critical week. Yeah, and look at this quote. This isn't just some dry analysis. It's basically a declaration of a new era. In just 1 week, the entire game just changed. We're talking a frantic race between AI models, a massive strategic reshuffling of the biggest companies on the planet, and, the start of some pretty scary risks that are shaking the foundations of our digital world. So in this explainer, we're going to break it all down, what happened, and crucially, what it means for you. Okay, so where did it all start? With the models themselves, of course, the actual engines of AI. All of a sudden, they were locked in this insane head-to-head sprint for dominance. And trust me, this was way more than just bragging rights. This was a battle for the future of the entire market. And what's so fascinating here is the complete contrast in strategy. I mean, look at this. On one side, you've got OpenAI basically in code red panic mode, rushing out GPT 5.2. It feels like a totally defensive move against Google. They're focused on making it super reliable for pros. But then you look at Google, and they're just calmly, confidently rolling out Gemini 3 Flash as their new default. It's all about projecting stability and competing on pure efficiency. Two giants, two totally different playbooks. It's wild. But OpenAI's defensive move, it was a really powerful one. They went straight for one of AI's biggest, most annoying problems, hallucinations. When the model just confidently makes stuff up. They managed to get that hallucination rate down to just 10%. That is a huge drop, and it represents a massive leap in trust. If you're a business relying on this thing for accurate code or data, well, that's a total game changer. But Google's response was all about speed and cost. Gemini 3 Flash was 3 times faster at inference, the time it takes the AI to actually give you an answer. And faster answers mean lower costs, especially for businesses running millions of these queries every single day. So Google's message was simple and loud. Hey, we can give you top-tier performance for way less money and in way less time. Okay, so while OpenAI and Google are having this big, heavyweight fight, Nvidia just quietly walks in and changes the entire game. Seriously, they weren't trying to build the best model. No, they were building the infrastructure for the next big thing, agentic AI. And we're not talking about simple chatbots here. These are autonomous systems, agents that can take a goal, figure out a plan, and then go and execute it, all by themselves. And this is where Nvidia's strategy is just brilliant. Nematron 3 isn't another model trying to win some benchmark test. It's the entire toolbox. It's literally the shovels in a gold rush. It lets everyone else build their own teams of AI agents. They made it open source, jacked up the throughput by 4 times, and gave it this massive 1 million token context window. Think of it like a giant short-term memory. With this move, NVIDIA's basically handing over the power to create these incredibly complex AI systems to the masses. So all this crazy competition in the model race, it actually revealed something much deeper. The war for AI dominance, it isn't a fair fight. It's not symmetric. What we're seeing is more like asymmetric warfare, where each of these tech giants is using its own unique and sometimes totally unbeatable advantages. Right, and this is the key thing to understand. You just can't compare these companies apples to apples. It doesn't work. Google has that insane fire hose of data and a billion people using their stuff. OpenAI has that blistering research speed. But then, as we're about to see, you've got players like Meta and Amazon, and they have a secret weapon, these huge, powerful monetization engines they've already built. And Meta's strategy? Oh, it was absolutely genius. They didn't get caught up in building the smartest AI on the planet, nope. Instead, they took really powerful AI and plugged it right into the heart of their money-making machine, their ad systems. They just made their ad rankings smarter, which drove up user engagement, and in doing so, they proved a massive point. Maybe the biggest profits aren't in creating brand new models, but in making what you already have way, way better. And here's the proof in the pudding, a staggering 26% year-over-year revenue growth. I mean, come on, that number isn't some projection, it's the real, direct result of their AI strategy. It's such a powerful lesson, right? The best AI isn't the one that wins a test, it's the one that makes you money. Amazon, meanwhile, is just playing both sides of the field perfectly. Through AWS, they are selling the picks and shovels to everyone in this AI gold rush. But at the exact same time, they're using AI to supercharge their own ad and e-commerce businesses. It's this dual engine strategy, and it creates this incredibly powerful, almost unbeatable competitive moat. And then there's Apple. For years, their whole identity has been built around privacy and on-device AI. That's their thing. But now, in this new, crazy competitive world, you have to ask, is that strength actually becoming a weakness? I mean, we're hearing reports that they're talking to Google about powering Siri. That suggests that even Apple knows they might be falling behind in this huge cloud AI arms race. So you have to realize, this intense corporate battle isn't happening in a vacuum. All this pressure to win is forcing innovation to happen at a speed we've never seen before. And it's creating these massive shockwaves that go way beyond just the tech world. In fact, this whole fight is speeding up 5 huge trends that are literally reshaping our world as we speak. Just look at this cascade of disruption. First, agentic AI goes live, moving out of the lab and into the real world. That pushes the need for more power, so boom, quantum computing starts to become a real thing. But smarter AI also means, well, smarter threats, so our cybersecurity risks just escalate like crazy. To handle all this data, we need better networks, so the groundwork for 6G begins. And finally, this powerful AI starts moving into our hospitals, even making medical decisions. I mean, any one of these would be a revolution, and they're all happening at once. Let's just pause on that cybersecurity risk for a second, because this is actually alarming. OpenAI's models went from being able to pass 27% of these capture the flag hacking challenges to 76% with the new version. Just let that sink in. And AI can now successfully hack into complex systems more than 3/4 of the time, all by itself. That's a huge deal. And this quote from BCG really drives the point home. Offense is scaling faster than organizations are modernizing their defenses. In other words, the AI-powered tools for attacking are getting better, way faster than our tools for defending. We're now in an age where weaponized AI is a very real, very present danger, and that gap between attack and defense is getting wider every single day. Okay, so after all that, all this rapid change, all this new risk, what's the actual takeaway? What does this massive inflection point really mean for you, whether you're running a business or investing your own money? All right, if you're in business, listen up, because the message is urgent. Agentic AI is not theoretical anymore. It's here. You need to figure out, right now, if your infrastructure can even handle it. The window to build out the skills to manage teams of these AI agents, it's closing, fast. And you have to make security a top priority, not later. You need to build your defenses at the same time you're deploying any new AI. And for investors, the whole landscape is shifting. The smartest money might not be on the big, flashy model companies anymore. There's just so much risk there. The real insight? Boring AI is winning. The best, most reliable returns are coming from companies like Meta and Amazon, the ones plugging AI into platforms that are already making tons of money. And looking ahead, you got to keep an eye on those long-term infrastructure plays, quantum, 6G. That's where the next huge wave of value is going to come from. Look, that 1 week in December 2025 was a massive wake-up call for everybody. That slow, predictable march of progress we were used to, it's gone. It's been replaced by these insane exponential leaps. The timeline has completely compressed. The future isn't some far-off place anymore. It is happening right now. So the only real question left is your strategy ready for it?